Welcome to our team presentation. Regarding the research done, our company's decision to explore the option of international expansion. Presenting today, we have Addie Childress, Megan Huff, Nicholas Sowers, Mackenzie Stark, Ashley Williams, and myself, Brandy Petty.
Our company is called General Staffing. We are a staffing agency for call centers, and we are looking to expand our business internationally in order to grow our employee volume and diversity. Our countries for consideration are Malaysia and India. In this presentation, we will look at the aspects that we are analyzing in this process of choosing a location for expansion and where we attained our research.
Hey, I'm Addie Childress, and I'm the one doing the social customs of India and Malaysia. If we were to set up the appointment in India, we need to keep in mind that they are very personal and friendly. The setting up with India, they would like to do their business meetings first as a way to get to know each other and start off with building trust and building their relationships. We need to set up this appointment in Delhi, one of the top cities in India, because that's where they do most of their business work at. When doing our business cards, we need to have them translated into Hindi to show our respect before our meeting. Seeing how they operate under strict hierarchy that defines people's roles in the business, always address the senior advisor first. Place your hands in front of your chest and bow when greeting your future partners. Hand them your business cards, holding it by your right hand as they see that the left hand is being unclean. In exchange, take their card and carefully read over it. Put it in a secure place as to show respect towards them. When continuing with the following meeting, the gifts you might want to present should be wrapped in red, green, yellow, or blue, as these colors show luck in their customs. The gifts should be inexpensive and come from your home country. If you get a gift in exchange, do not open it right then. Wait till you get to your private setting and then call them after you have opened it to thank them. If the business contract goes well, then you want to celebrate with a dinner with your new business partners to show respect and honor towards them. Just keep in mind that they believe that partnerships is more important than the economical factors. Now in Malaysia, there's a lot of similarities. They strive to keep their reputation and their face being their qualities such as good name, good character, and being held in esteem by one's peers. This concept can be taken away as it is given. As with the Indian business group, the Malaysian believes in hierarchy too. So when entering the meeting, our senior member needs to be the one to introduce themselves to their senior advisor. The men need to be dressed in business attire and the ladies the same. Make sure the ladies are covered up. During the introduction, there should be no contact between sexes, and always use your right hand. If the lady extends her hands first, then it is all right for you to shake her hand, only if she extends it first. The Malaysians strive for harmonious relationships, so the first meeting will likely be just to get to know each other, just as with the Indians. Although it's not common to bring a gift in the Malaysia culture, if you do decide, you should be aware of their Muslim rules. Nothing with pig meat, pig skin, or anything to do with alcohol. Also, they should not be wrapped in white or yellow. When presenting your business card to the Malaysian group, the visiting group should present it first. You should hold your card by the corners, facing it upwards, as it has been translated into Malay. When receiving their business card, take time to study over it. Securely put it away or even place it in front of you on the table. This shows respect for them. During the meeting, they will study your facial features and your facial expressions. They rely on a non-verbal communication, so they will listen and watch your tone of voice and body language. And the small talk will end when the senior Malaysian is comfortable. That's when you'll be discussing your business. When asking them questions, take a moment to rethink the question. They like to see that you have the appropriate consideration for the questions you are asking. In conclusion, avoid saying no or embarrassing any colleagues, as this will show a big sign of rudeness on your part. My citations were accessed on 11/3/2015, and it was www.justlanded.com, copyrighted in 2013, and www.quintessentials.com, copyrighted in 2014.
I'm Megan Huff, and I'm doing the business etiquette portion of this project. In India, it is the land of opportunity of potential investors. Indians are known for entrepreneurial abilities and willingness to learn, adapt, integrate into the global business system. Key successes in India: they understand the Indian business context and efficiently functioning in it, such as strengths and opportunities, cheap resources, skilled talents, massive national markets, rapidly growing middle class, and increasing strong purchases. The Constitution guarantees the citizens certain fundamentals such as freedom of speech, association, movement throughout India, the residents anywhere in India, engaging in profession, trade and business, protection of life and liberty, adopting any religion. These are enforceable against the state. The working age for India is 14 and up. In Malaysia, the rapid economic expansion has created a great demand for additional labor, such as for the manufacturing, construction services sectors. The labor shortage has tended to increase wages to extract many workers from the rural regions. Companies have found it necessary to recruit. This has caused social and political tension within Malaysia, which also caused labor shortages in the rural economy. On the India, I got my resources from the Tri-County website, the library page. The book is called Doing Business in India, and it is in New York and was released in 2001. And then for Malaysia, and the encyclopedia from Botanica website is on Malaysia.
My name is Nicholas Stowers, and I'll be presenting the religion portion. The major religions in Malaysia are Muslim, which takes up 53% of the population's religion. Then Buddhism, which is 18% of the population's religion. Then some other Chinese religions, which takes up 11% of the population. And only 7% is Hindu. 7% is Christian, and 4% is other religion other than those. That is shown here. And with those religions working with a business, it's kind of hard to understand what you would normally need to do in those situations that encompass religion in those circumstances. So most of these religions on this list, other than Christian and maybe some of the Chinese religions, don't view women the same way we do in a normal workplace. In America, with us, normally in our main offices, they would probably be equals, if not better, in most circumstances, depending upon merit in the workplace. But in other countries, women, no matter how smart, no matter how intelligent, are viewed worse in most cases. So for all those other religions, it would be hard for people working in our offices to be able to work and do what they need to do on a daily basis. And also, there's some of the religions, such as the Islam and Buddhism and other Chinese religions, may have other etiquette according to religion based in those circumstances. So in an office, you may have to follow certain other roles or situations or other things like that that you would normally have to do in America or anywhere else in the world. And also, our company, a staffing company, may not be as well received in some countries with those religions based on it's a Western thing, and Westernization is not viewed very well in most religions because they view it as breaking off of tradition. Now, for India, the population is 80% Hindu, 14% Muslim, 2% Christian, 2% Sikh, and 2% of any other religion. And for the same circumstances as those with Hinduism, Muslim, and any of those other religions, women working in that kind of environment wouldn't do so well because of the other implications of those religions and what they believe in those workplaces, environments, and social lives. And also, with the religion etiquette, with those religions, they wouldn't be viewed very highly if you didn't follow all the practices according to how they wanted it done. They both have similar, but also a little different religious backgrounds, but both can be acclimated to a staffing company if necessary. My sources, the part about Malaysia was from an article called Malaysia from Black Birch Kids Visual Reference of the World, Volume 1, printed in San Diego by Black Birch Press, 2001, and I found it on the Gale Virtual Reference Library from the ETC website. And the information about India was found from the article India by in the Black Birch Kids Visual Reference of the World, Volume 1, printed in San Diego by Black Birch Press, 2001, from the Gale Virtual Reference Library on the Tri-County website.
My name is Mackenzie Stark, and I'm doing the gender role portion of our project. In India, gender discrimination is one problem that continues to affect women in India. Women are often at home doing chores, like making dinner, taking care of the children, and this has left them with little or no education at all. About 70% of women do not pursue a career. In the last decades, women's issues and concerns have been debated widely, the biggest issue being equality. India is primarily a partial society with small segment of population that adheres to martial beliefs and values. With is the national culture, there exists a son syndrome, which entails giving preference to sons over daughters and placing greater value on the male child. Most companies in India are traditional and they won't hire women. I found my stuff on Tri-County Library, and the article was called International Journal of Multidisciplinary Approach, and it was published July through August 2015. Now in Malaysia, the male GRC has been linked to a number of negative outcomes such as harsh attitudes and behavior towards women, decreased willingness to seek counseling, decreased willingness to refer friends and family members to seek help, and increased levels of stress. Women are becoming more entered into the labor force, and they play significant roles socially, economically, and politically. The institutional, cultural, and economic changes suggest that traditional could be forced to transform in the face of the new realities in women's roles, and that these changes could set the stage for increased gender role conflict as men face conflicting messages about appropriate role norms. I found this information on the Tri-County Library, and the article was called International Medical Journal, and it was published in December 2014.
Okay, I'll be covering the economic portion of the presentation. We chose to go with Malaysia. So some of the facts that I've located for our particular topic of the country of Malaysia was beginning in 2002, the major economic leaders within Malaysia began to notice that their economy began to plane off, where it had once been quite a powerhouse in the outsourcing industry as far as from a staffing standpoint. Economics then held a large international meeting with several various other country leaders after conducting countless hours of research and observation of other countries who had already begun using staffing centers and decided to bring in the use of these staffing agencies. By the year 2005, they had established over 1,000 staffing agencies in Malaysia alone, which brought over $5 billion in profits to the country as a whole. By the year 2014, the government province established an outsourcing and also a call center with a staffing agency that caused a great boom in the business industry for the country. A promotion conference, which was held in Guyang, brought the service of outsourcing in the industry, was held on April 24th and gained 16 contracts signed on site involving areas of the staffing company and e-business and cross-border trade settlement worth more than 3 billion yen. There are many more staffing agencies on the way and expected to open soon, not only in Malaysia but surrounding smaller countries. It involved 22,000 agents. That figure is expected to reach 72,000 by the end of the year and hopefully 300,000 by the end of 2020, involving more than 100 companies, providing as many as 700,000 jobs, by then which would boost the overall economy by over 50%. Two of Malaysia's biggest competitors are India and the Philippines, due to various advantages that the other two countries have, and therefore Malaysia has had to become extremely innovative in their ideas as to how to hold their economic progression. And they are doing so by continuing to open numerous staffing agencies in provinces that have not yet been utilized, which is allowing for thousands more job opportunities for citizens, which allows a better quality of life while they improve their internal and international economy.
Okay, the sources utilized for this project, I used an article by David Muir, published on February 23rd, 2012, which is entitled Foreign Call Centers Phone Home, www.learnforgood.com, www.jobstreet.com, and www.malaysiarecruit.com.
My name is Brandy Petty. I am covering India's economy for our project. In 2014, India's economy was projected to be the world's third largest economy by 2028. India's economy began to open up in the 1990s, with growth beginning to become relatively consistent in 2003. Though many perceptions have changed, many are still skeptical as to whether or not India can compete as an international power. In March 2011, an article was published in the Financial Express, an Indian financial daily, on India's missing growth drivers. Important policies for the future of India may not be getting enough attention. There is too large a gap in the sectors of business, such as the small firm sector, the unorganized sector, the policy and policy planning for these are being severely neglected. Without closer attention to building the next generation of policies to accommodate, growth will have difficulty maintaining. A survey conducted by the Economist Intelligence Unit in 2015 reveals that India had a very high percentage of corporate corruption. 80% of the executives that respond to the survey in India have encountered some form of corruption in their companies in 2014. India had more instances of bribes, theft of intellectual property, and regulations breaches than any other country surveyed. My references for this are as follows. By Ian's, an article titled India Among Worst in Corporate Fraud Shows Survey, written for the Financial Express, 26th of November 2015, accessed online 30th of November 2015. By Nikavar Singh in an article called Essays on India's Economy, Growth and Innovation, written for escholarship.org in 2014, accessed online November 2015. By John Doyle, published in 2014 in an article titled How Prospects for Global Economic Growth Influence India's Foreign Policy, printed in Strategy and Leadership Journal, Volume 42, Issue 2. We chose to attempt our expansion in Malaysia based on Malaysia's more stable economic structure and growing awareness in gender equality. While there will be a few social customs and religious adaptations needed, we feel that Malaysia will be a promising location for our company's future expansion.